for a lot of health care. There's already a lot of people that are on Medicaid and Medicare. So why not bump that up a little bit into the middle class for people who can't afford their $800 payments each month? Bump that up and give them a break. Let them put that $8,000 a year into something else, maybe college tuition, hell, maybe a vacation. Doesn't matter. Put it in the bank, whatever.
Now there's going to be free college tuition on that.
Well, that's what Bernie
wants. With Bernie, yes, absolutely. And I
don't know all the details of that. I do respect that too.
Yes,
I feel like because when you're 18 years old, you don't have a clue what you want to do for the rest of your life. That's normal. You shouldn't have to start paying $30,000 a year to go to school to figure it out. That's ridiculous.
I mean, so, I listen to it like some of the philosophers of nowadays, like Jordan Peterson, and he talks about going to tech schools. Stop going to the universities because they're not teaching the worth for what you will have to owe after it.
Go to community college. It's fine.
And I agree
the door.
Not even community college. Go to a tech school, like a trade school where they teach you something. Yes, and it makes sense. I
make $70 an hour, and I went to a trade school and spent $10,000 on my schooling 18 years ago. That's all I spent, and I make $70 an hour. I don't work 10 hours a day or anything like that, but that's the beauty of making that amount of money per hour. I work a couple hours a week, and I'm good, or a couple hours a day, and I'm good for the day. But yeah, that's a trade school. It didn't start out like that when I was younger, but yeah, now it's that way, and again, 18 years in, but that's where it's at, and I feel like we've done these kids, especially the millennials, a really big disservice by making them think that they have to go to university to get a job, and they didn't. And now they have a $60,000 student loan, and they can't get out from underneath it. I mean, we've done them wrong, in my opinion. I think the boomers, I don't want to blanket statement anything because I know there's some pretty cool boomers out there, but boomers really isn't an age thing. It's a mentality. If you are like, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, because I had to, even though I'm all jacked up in my head, and that's how you think everyone should live, that's a jacked up mentality. And they're always complaining about those participation trophies as if those 8-year-olds were paying for them and buying them for themselves. Who do you think bought it for them? So I don't really like that mentality of the boomers. They're like, well, this is how we've always done it, and this is how it's going to stay. And of course, then you see it all over the internet. Okay, boomer. You know, it's pretty funny.
But at the same time, you can look at some things that the younger generation are doing, and it's like, that doesn't make any goddamn sense. So
give me an example.
The fucking fingernails on all these shit. I'm like, with all this you using super glue to fingernails, some acrylic, plastic, or whatever the fuck material they are onto your fingers. And it seems outrageous to me. Why do so many people need tattoos? Where is the individuality in it if everybody's doing it?
Do you have any tattoos, though?
No.
Me neither.
Hell no.
I went through the 90s, and I wasn't bisexual. I didn't get my nose pierced. I didn't get my mouth pierced, and I didn't get any tattoos. It's almost like I didn't even go through the 90s.
And I'm not even going to sit here and say, like, oh, those people, or speak down on them like they're less than people. It's a oneness thing. But so many are putting shit towards something that makes no sense, that the energy is just convoluted, in my opinion.
You know what I've seen? Well, you're right. You're onto something, and it's segueing into something that I think is really important, which is, now, I'm not blanket statementing anything, but the people that I know that get the hair and the nails done are always broke, never have any money for anything. Like, you want to go to lunch? Oh, I don't have any money. You want to go on a small vacation? Don't have any money. But they have those $70 a week nails on their hands, or whatever it is. I don't even know. I grow my own nails. I have real ones. But like, the idea is like every other week, $70 to keep these plastic things on your hands that are toxic is insane. I don't know why people do it. Same with tattoos. Some of the people that I know with the most tattoos are constantly broke. And I'm like, you're wearing around $5,000 worth of art. That's where your money goes. So I think the people that do these, and again, we're not making fun of these people. It's all a oneness thing, like Bo said. But the people who are spending on these exterior things are not helping themselves. Like George Carlin said, trying to fill voids with material things is like pasting or taping sandwiches on your body when you're hungry. This just doesn't get you what you want. It gets you further away from what you want. So, yeah.
Good call.
And that hair stuff, the people that do the dyeings and stuff, and I think the colored hair is really crazy. I don't think it looks bad on people. I would never put any dyes on my hair because I'm organic, but
I think it looks
expensive.
crazy. I'll say it. The shit looks absurd. It looks. I've always said that the shit looks like some futuristic, like robotic prostitute. Looks like you're coming straight from like Blade Runner or something. Like, okay, are you role playing? Are we role playing? Okay, well, I couldn't get a memo before I met you. I mean, tell me something, because it just does not feel authentic. It feels like I am desperate to be different instead of just being yourself. That's how it feels.
Yeah, and it does feel a little attention getting, of course. And I remember being in school in the 90s, and the swim team would dye their hair green, and it was more of a festive kind of like team-oriented thing. But now people are doing it. And I see the tabs. I see how much that costs to do. And I was watching a reality show. I was watching a reality show, and this Latina got her hair done. She had really long dark hair, so I'm imagining this is a little higher price than the average person, and she had very long hair, $400. But she was in Miami, so I don't know how to gauge what the average woman's paying. If she has shorter hair, maybe it's $200, but I'm like, holy jeez, and your hair grows out, if you're a healthy person, your hair grows a quarter inch a month or something like that. So I don't know how much it grows a month. It's something like that, but you're basically always going to be maintaining it. And again, we're dealing with toxins. This is a toxic thing you're putting on in your body, which leads me to come back into looking at Bloomberg's energy. I wanted to talk about some of the psychic revelations I had before I watched the debate, and they got confirmed to me in my research during the debates.
Like
I was quite certain Bloomberg is a Satanist. And when I say Satanist, I don't mean worships in the woods with a goat's head. Those are different Satanists. The Satanists I'm talking about are the ones that are pulling the strings, that are the 1% that make all the choices. And I got some images of him doing satanic ritual, which includes small boys, and I was like, holy shit. Now, I'm not 100% accurate in my psychic skills, but I'm high 90s, or at least mid 90s with my, if I'm willing to state what I see. Sometimes it's just fleeting. This was a definite vision, and I was like, holy shit, a real live Satan is right in front of me. And so I was reading his energy. So I was kind of happy that he was getting his, leg chewed off and what have you by Elizabeth, but I was watching to see how he behaved.
Wait, you got what?
He was basically getting attacked by Elizabeth, and I was digging that. So I was watching all of that. But what
Elizabeth, Queen Elizabeth? Who? Elizabeth who?
Warren.
Queen Elizabeth?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Elizabeth. Oh, you're talking about metaphysics or like.
Yeah, I was talking symbolic. Basically, I was enjoying her ripping him up, but what I was really doing when I was watching him is watching his energy to see how a Satanist functions up close and personal, because I don't know a ton of them, because I don't know a lot of billionaires. But I was watching his energy, and I could tell that he was programmed. I could tell that he had been messed with psychologically. I can tell that he absolutely works in these rankings where these pedophilia energies come from, and I think that he probably drinks, and I hate to get so conspiracy, but it was coming in so intensely that I have to state it. And when they come in that intensely, again, it's usually very accurate when I read it like that, when it comes in that intensely. But basically, I saw him taking advantage of children and women and doing whatever he wanted and running in circles where they actually do satanic ritual, where they drink children's or virgins, whatever they're into, blood, and they do it to keep some sort of power going. Now, this is what I thought the very first time I laid eyes on him yesterday at the debate. Like, he looks gray. Oh my God, he's got tons of makeup on because he is almost like reptilian or something at this point. And my spirit guides are like, well, not necessarily reptilian, but definitely satanic and definitely jacked in the head. And I was watching him take those attacks by Elizabeth, and I was like, God, they really programmed him to be cool. Like, that's what I think the programming was, for him to not like flip off the other end when they knew this was going to get brought up. The people that work with Bloomberg, they had to have known that these allegations were going to come up, and it was probably going to be Elizabeth that delivered them. So
it just seemed like he should have responded better then. Like if they knew it was coming, or is their main goal to make him fail to get him out of the race? It just seemed like they,
I just don't think he's got the tools to win. So I think
too old,
they were. I just think that he doesn't have a good charisma, and I feel like they probably were doing lots of programming, but the one that I was picking up on was they were kind of like putting him in a meditative state kind of energy, which is a lot of programming starts there, hypnosis state, and they were trying to keep him focused and not trigger. So they thought that was better, I guess, than him coming at him real aggressively when he was attacked, because he doesn't have a leg to stand on. What did Elizabeth say? Are you going to lift those restrictions so these women can talk? And he was like, yeah, no, no, I'm not going to do that.
He was like, oh, look, squirrel.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next question. Next question now. Goddamn it. Hurry.
Yeah, that was funny watching her.
That does seem. She was like, a few. How many exactly? A few. Because if you really think about it, how many, and you can see that he's misogynistic. He's a little dude, too, so he's got that, fucking Napoleon complex. I mean, how many jokes have to be put under censorship?
Right.
Honestly, I think he said some more shit than that.
Of course.
And if you're a Satanist, then obviously you feel entitled.
Well, he definitely looked entitled. I mean, Jesus. And that's why I started the show. I was being like, I loved watching him implode. His ego is so big. He thinks he can pay his way and get up there, win the nomination, all because he's got money. And I love people with money being told no. I think it's great. I think it's great karma and great learning. It's like watching karma play out right in front of my eyes. I dig it. But what do you think about Biden? He was going at him a little bit too, wasn't he? Biden was going after Bloomberg.
Yeah, but Biden is just so fucking creepy to me. I mean, his hair, his look, just everything about him just looks dead. I'm not impressed by him, and knowing that he is so creepy, I just can't get on board with anything that he says, because it's easy to just throw anything back on him if you really want to, because it's not so much that what he did as a vice president, because all he was able to do was because Obama was so popular. Mm-hmm. That's his whole rank and file. So, as long as Obama's doing some shit, all I just have to do is sit back there at the State of the Union and just keep nodding and give him my thumbs up. And, yeah, I'm behind him. I'm Robin.
Exactly, Robin.
So I'm just saying, you tell me, how do you think, or how do you feel about Biden when it comes to these children? Because it just seems like he has an affiliation and like a taste to get around children.
I've looked at that when it came out, when he was going to run for president this time, that he had some allegations on him and he's inappropriate and gets too close and smells hair and, he's too touchy, so to speak. I was looking at that because it's something that I am interested in, and seeing how jacked up people are. It's my job. And I was looking at it, I was like, so is he a pedophile? And my spirit guides were like, no, he's just creepy. He's just definitely a creepy.
Okay.
Not that he's never done anything inappropriate to a human. I'm sure he has at some point. But I was like, straight, is he like a pedophile? And they're like, no. I'm sure he's had his eye on a 15 or 16-year-old girl before that was pretty. But, I don't know if that's pedophilia. That's not pedophilia. Hurting someone is a pedophile. So, yeah, I think he's just straight creepy. I think you read it right. I think he's just a real creepy dude, and, he just doesn't have very good boundaries, and he's probably very visceral, so he likes to touch, and he likes to be close to people, but just because you're visceral doesn't mean you get to touch people. And when they always show pictures of him coming up and getting close to people's ear, and they're like, you can tell they don't like it. So he doesn't have good social skills in the way that he can't read other people's energy that he's being exposed to. So he's like getting close to them and making them feel uncomfortable and is clueless. Too. He might have dementia. I mean, what is he? He's close to 80 as well.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. And if there's 3 people last night that